Hello, welcome to what we decided to call the Social Rejects podcast because we're all going to die alone. Today I'm joined by Jared with an O,
What's going on?
Thirsty Gamer Boy, which is Jared with an E,
How you doing?
and you can't see him at the bottom because he thought it was a cool kid move, little dick energy over here. It's Zachary Grant.
Sup, dickheads?
Zachary. Why does Zach get his last name?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know why my last
Yeah.
name was needed, but it's cool.
because
Let's
he
go.
decided in the group chat that he was the Steve Jobs of the whole operation.
What do you mean?
I
I
just
Would
got
you
money
kick
to do.
Steve Jobs out of Apple?
I'm
For
just
content, for context, anyone listening, we have a group chat where we decide when we're going to record, and Zach couldn't because he wanted to go see Endgame, and I said, "What if we just did it without you?" And he said, "Oh, would you kick Steve Jobs out of Apple?" But he's not really Steve Jobs because we're all part of this fucking podcast.
No, I just meant I'm one of the fucking people who came up with the idea, and you're
Yeah,
gonna
but
be the first
technically
episode
we're
at me.
But technically, we're all part of the first idea.
Yeah, I know, but it was just a
Exactly.
fucking. I couldn't think of
Yeah.
anything else that was more applicable. Okay, it's Apple for fuck's sake.
Maybe
Also,
Bill Gates
we
or
kind of
something?
ditched Joe in here, so I'm kind of hypocritical.
Yeah.
No, okay. Next episode there will be another person. Joan, he currently couldn't because he had work. We did ask him if it was okay if we started recording. He said that would be fine. So next
because
episode,
Joan actually has a real life. And,
yeah,
Yeah.
Joan has a job instead of sitting in front of a computer.
He has
screen.
Hey, commitments, unlike
I have a
everyone
job
else
too
here.
as well, alright?
You know what? No
I
one
have
asked for your
commitments,
opinion.
You work at a
Alright.
fast food fucking joint, mate.
So did hey, he washes dishes.
Yeah, but it's at a bar. It's refined, sleek, sexy dishwasher at a bar.
Yeah, well KFC is good too. At least I have a job.
Oh yeah, true. Like I can't. get a
Anyway,
job.
Brendan let us know earlier today, or the past week, he's been saying that he has some juicy topics for us to talk
yeah,
about. So,
Oh yeah.
I've been contemplating over it, and I sit at night and I just think. So do any of you have any interesting stories of being caught busting off or busting one out?
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, we discussed this the other day.
All right, so I've got
Did
one
we?
that's real interesting, and we'll go down the list
All right.
and keep
sick.
it in that order.
Oh,
So
you made a list.
no, like
Shit.
the Discord ladder. So like
Oh. Okay. Sick. Yeah,
that
okay.
order in the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I used to live at a house that was like a street away from my school,
Yeah.
for context, my bedroom would be right next to my bathroom. So
Okay.
my door and the bathroom door would meet at a right angle, so I could literally just go straight out of the bathroom into my room. And it was at its
Okay.
own secluded little end of the house, so I never thought much of closing the door.
Yep.
And at one point I was like, oh, alright, that's fine. And then mum came in, just grabbed my washing. I was like, oh, what the fuck? This is weird. And I wasn't doing anything that time. She said, oh, if you want privacy, close the door. So I closed the
Fair
door,
enough.
and I was really horny, and I went, fuck it, let's bust one out. She opened the door and just went, oh, well. And
Wait,
just
really?
and she barged in. She said, "Oh, I'll always knock." Just barged in, just went, "Oh, and closed the door."
That's so cringy. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a bit.
Ways to lose your boner in 0.1 of a second.
It's it's
Uh.
odd, but yeah, that's my interesting story.
Yeah.
Hey,
nah.
to be honest, I'm gonna just say right now, I don't just never been caught.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never been caught either. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
So-
none of us are retarded. We don't jack off during the day. We wait
Yeah,
till everyone
that's
else is
pretty-
asleep.
It was at
I
night.
do.
Oh, what?
What?
I was showering
Your
at
mum was
night.
just horny.
Oh, okay. Hello.
But yeah, let's
Damn.
not say my mum wanted to fuck me, please.
let's
Wait,
not
you
go-
said
let's
some
not
other
go
shit
down that
earlier,
road.
so
Yeah. Oh fuck.
So no one has any interesting stories on it.
yeah, no,
Not
you said these
really.
were some juicy topics, man. You
Yeah.
brought it up the other day. I didn't really say much about it,
You can't
honestly.
really boost it, but okay.
You came into this knowing that I hadn't.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, we talked about it. We called it the other day, or like yesterday. And I was like, yeah, no, I've never been caught.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's oddly disappointing. That's just turned me flaccid in an instant.
Yeah, well,
Everything
That's my
turns
job.
you flaccid. Fucking
Nah.
hell.
Underage girls don't turn Zach flaccid.
Oh,
man.
Should
that's a whole nother fucking.
Can I give him some
Yeah.
context?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
You know what?
Go.
Let's do it.
So
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I'll let Zach tell this one.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Alright, well this is the reason why I'm drinking tonight. So I have this girlfriend, right? And we've been dating for almost a month. And just today I found out she's fuck you.
It's all in his
Just
head.
today I found out she's actually a year younger than I thought she was than me.
And how old
So
did
it
you
turns
think
out
she was?
she's
Yep.
I thought she was my age, but 8 months younger. And turns out that is a whole year's difference, and she's actually almost 2 years younger than me. So now I'm like kind of low key a cradle snatcher, and I'm
I
kind
didn't
of
need you to tell me
I'm
that.
I'm contemplating committing die. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Yeah, I
not
mean,
sure what is going
I've
on.
already contemplated that, so it's fine.
I'm very conflicted here. Yeah, so that's the thing. See, a lot of girls that might be listening will be like,
Mate,
this is
there's
literally
gonna
like
be
nothing.
zero girls listening.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
still, no one's like none
Zero.
of the girls would care. They're like, all right, it's a year and 8 months, whatever. And the
Um,
guy's like, you're a fucking pedo. So it's like,
Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt this, but can we change my name from I fuck kids to something somewhat monetary?
No.
Oh,
No,
alright.
because it fits in.
I got you.
It fits real well with your persona, so it's fine.
Small dick energy.
I changed it.
Oh, alright. Well, that fucks up the order then. Just change it back to I fuck kids. Don't take that out of context. No one take that out of context.
I don't
Out
think,
of context.
to be honest, I don't think anyone noticed until you brought it up. Not gonna lie.
I mean, I
Oh,
just
I
sat
saved the
here.
clip already.
I'll be back, boys. Sorry.
Oh, well, alright. So we've lost him. We never really gave a fuck
Re-
about him anyway.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
He was always
Yeah.
expendable. He was
Yeah.
he's just filling the spot for Joen.
Yeah, that's it.
We
He's
never
just a
actually
villain.
wanted him here.
Yeah, because the two Jared is kind of conflicting.
The
He was
two
just a
Jared
replacement,
dynamic, yeah.
temporary. Yeah.
He was always
Mhm.
expendable. He was like that one Taiwanese prostitute that just sucks you off and then then they whip out their dick and say, "Yeah, it's my turn now."
Oh wow. Yeah. That
That was
sounds very
that was-
expendable.
That was very detailed, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't talk about that.
Anyway, Brendan, what are we doing with these shots, mate? Because I got one sitting in front of me.
Ooh.
I mean, I might as well have another one. I said shot for shot.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll have one now.
For context, for anyone listening, Zach is getting into a drunken stupor because his girlfriend's 2 years younger than him and he's a cradle snatcher. And me being the good friend I am, I said I'd do shot for shot with him. It's going to be an interesting time because this is really foul stuff.
Yeah, and this is number 2. I'm drinking Midori and I fucking hate it, but it's all I have, so.
I'm
Yeah,
drinking
alright.
imported vodka and 5 times distilled.
You
Oh,
must be a
bottoms
hot.
up.
I want to die. That was disgusting.
Alright, come on, we need more. We need
Mm.
need more topics.
Oh, I don't know why,
Oh.
but it came to my head the other day. Honest
Alright.
question, do any of you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I do.
I have a story about that.
Yeah,
I have
that
plenty
leads
of
into-
stories, bro.
Do you mind me
I've plenty.
asking, like, reasoning why? Because I know it's like it's not really ethics, but it's a social thing that people do or don't believe. Like,
Mm.
what's your reasoning behind it?
I'll let Jared go first.
Alright, well, I've seen, what I think to be ghosts a lot. You know?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I get sleep paralysis sometimes.
Oh,
And
Oh,
I
okay.
think that's like the ghost's way of trying to contact you, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
just the way, because I don't like to say that people are right and wrong with beliefs like that, because
yeah, it's
all
very.
it's all a state of mind, and it's hard to.
Exactly.
Hello, I'm back.
It's not a
Ah.
definitive answer you can have.
Yeah, so Jared, we're talking about ghosts now.
Yeah.
Ghosts.
Yeah, and what's your
just-
take on ghosts? Yeah.
Oh, wait, do you want me to answer?
Yeah.
Right.
Sure,
I
yeah.
don't know. Well, they could exist, but like,
Do you
I
or
don't
do you not
specifically
believe?
know. I do.
Okay.
See, personally,
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Okay, so the odd one out here.
I have
Mm.
interesting stories of things that could or could have not been somewhat like it, but I choose not to believe in something like that because the way my
Mm.
head works is I prefer logic and reason over
Yeah, yeah.
superstition,
Yeah.
and I prefer hard facts. And if the
Mm.
facts aren't there, I can't make the correct judgment.
So
Yep.
what do you say the events are?
So there's a place in Perth called the abandoned powerhouse,
Hmm.
and
Like them.
nowadays it's just homeless people squat there. There's been like
Yeah,
there's
of course.
junkies that go like they get methed up and they just go bash the homeless people there. It's not a good place, but at night
Mm.
I went with a group of friends and we decided to go into the powerhouse because we thought, oh fuck it, wouldn't it be cool to have a look around? And
Yeah,
we looked
okay.
around and I had my flashlight out on my phone and my phone just died. I went, oh okay, just the battery. We were walking
Mhm.
around, didn't hear anything, didn't see anything, but as soon as we walked around, I came outside, got in the car, held the power button down again, my phone turned back on, and I said to anyone like, "Oh, is anyone else's shit cut out?" And they're like, "Nah, not really. Where'd you go?" And I said, "Oh, just to the back of the area." And at the same time, it conflicts with my beliefs and ideas because it's like I had 50% on my phone, and not many
Yeah.
phone batteries die at 50%. But
No,
I
not
don't
really.
have the reasoning or like proof behind anything that could have happened.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's just kind of weird. It's not very like paranormal, I
But
suppose.
it's said that people have said before that they've
Yeah,
heard
that
or seen shit at that powerhouse before.
Ah.
yeah,
So
that's what I was gonna say. Like, you
Spooky.
don't need to. It's like they say ghosts interfere with, like,
Electromagnetic
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, whatever,
EMP.
and that's how they talk and shit. So
but
yeah, it's like a superstition thing,
yeah,
like that stuff. Yeah.
just my only question was for a topic was any have any interesting experiences that they would like to rule down as uh, or spirit or ghost encounters.
I
Well,
mean,
Definitive evidence.
Oh,
No,
I,
not
I,
not
it's not definitive.
definitive, but like their experience is what they would call a ghost encounter.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, well, like a couple months back, I went to an abandoned factory,
Yeah.
and it's multiple floors. Like, there's this room where it's just a big warehouse area, and it's 2 floors.
Yep.
But one of the floors have caved in, so you can look up and see to the second
Oh
floor.
yeah.
And me and my mate were walking through, and I swear on my life, I saw like a little girl just like just on the second level looking down at me. And and you know when you get scared, you don't move and you just freeze.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
your body
Yeah,
like
I
it's
was
your
just
fight or
yeah,
flight instinct kicking in.
yeah. I was just like looking at this girl, and yeah, and then I ran off.
That's
See,
fucked.
in my head when I hear things like that, I'm not saying you're right or wrong,
Yeah, yeah,
but when my head goes around that, I look for the logic behind it.
yeah.
So
See, it could have been my head messing with me, but like I don't know that.
I mean, knowing Jared.
Yep.
So my reasoning or logic that I tried to find was, had you been sleeping and shit? Because deprivation.
Oh yeah.
Sleep deprivation
yeah.
can make you hallucinate and see things.
Exactly.
No, you gotta make it rhyme. Sleep deprivation leads to hallucination.
There's just so like I like
There's so
hearing-
much factors, right?
Yeah, I like hearing
Yeah,
the
yeah.
stories, but there's just so many factors that could be ruled down to just the mind.
Yeah,
That it-
exactly. True.
Kind of doesn't like for me just doesn't sit right.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, of course.
What about you, Thirsty? Do you have any interesting stories?
I like how I said
Well,
it now.
it's probably not that very interesting, but I was staying at my cousin's place, and my auntie's like heavily like believes in like the paranormal.
Oh yeah.
So she had someone come around like a fucking I don't know
Medium?
what a medium, that's right. And the medium said was like, doing a thing, and we were told about 10 minutes into it, we were told to leave the house. So we all left the
Okay.
house. 30 minutes later, she comes out the door and says, "You're fucked." But yeah, no, I don't know. I didn't really believe in that. But my auntie was like, "Okay, we can't stay here." But my uncle and me, my cousin were like, "Nah, we're gonna stay here because we don't really believe in this." So my auntie left, stayed at her friend's place, and the rest of us just stayed. So it was about 3 in the morning, and we were all just, I don't know what we were doing. We were just watching TV, and we had no windows open. One sec. Sorry.
Riveting.
No
windows open and just dead silence.
So no, we had no
really
windows
building
open.
up the suspense, aren't you?
Just
up.
the PTSD kicks in.
We had no windows open.
The ghost touched me in places I'm not happy about.
All right, whatever.
Show me on the
Alright.
bear.
All right, so we had no windows open. There was
Yeah.
no backdraft or anything. And we
Mhm.
were just sitting down, and we heard about fucking 3 doors slam. Like we could hear
Yeah.
multiple doors slam one after the other.
What the
So we're like, "What the hell was that?" So we all get up, and me being the little bitch I am, decides to just stay on the couch because I started shitting myself.
Yeah, of
And
course.
yeah, so we come back. Like my cousin and my uncle come back, and they're like, "Oh, the laundry door slammed, the door to my cousin's room slammed, and then also the garage door slammed." So we're like, "Oh, they all have like a window in there," but then
Yeah.
again, we didn't have any windows open.
Garages tend to get breezes through them.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we thought, but the other two, we just didn't know what the hell was happening.
Damn.
So
that
we
is
were just
weird.
kind of like, "Damn, that's weird."
Yeah, fair enough.
They've since moved out of that house.
Shit. Was
Yep.
that because of that reason? Like,
The auntie just
Uh,
refused to go there.
That was because of another experience. So,
oh shit.
fuck that. Yeah.
Damn.
Damn, Daniel.
Has anyone else got anything to share, or should I lead to mine?
No,
Dunno.
go on, Zach. Might as well.
Alright, well, this isn't my personal story, but it's actually
Oh,
my
all right.
dad's.
Moving on then. Nah.
Nah,
This
tell
is
it.
actually
Yeah,
like
go
I
on,
love
go on.
listening to this story. I've heard it so many times. So my dad he moved out when he was like, I don't know, pretty young, and he moved into this like apartment above a florist, and it's just like this own little kind of area. You know, like how people have apartments above their shops and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, he used to live up there, and he reckons there was this kid ghost or whatever that used to be up there. So every time, right? No, it's fucked. Every time that he would get in the shower, the phone would ring, right? Even if he unplugged it, the phone would
What?
ring consistently. And then also every time no one was in the upstairs level and everyone was down in the bottom area, you could hear footsteps go from one end of the house to the other in one straight line where there was walls in the way that you couldn't walk kind of in that direction.
Yeah.
Like
That's
very
just scary.
distinct
Mm.
footsteps.
That's
and
just
the-
scary, bro.
Another time, like it only happened to him once ever. He was trying to sleep and he was really tired. Okay, that's one thing that I guess Brendan would bring up, but he was tired and his head hit the pillow, and instantly he heard heavy breathing in his ear, like our kids, like when they breathe really
Yeah.
heavy on purpose.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's what he heard, and he was like super freaked out by it. And then he got up, like he got the will to get up, look around, check everywhere, nothing. Right? He goes back to bed. As soon as his head hits the pillow, same thing again. So somehow he managed to get to bed after that. But
Damn.
yeah, and there was that one other part where he left a chick over there by herself. He comes back. She's standing
She's just
outside of the
having a
entire
complete orgy
establishment.
with all these guys.
yeah.
Oh.
No, he comes back, and she's standing out front of the entire place, like she's not even inside the bottom floor, and she refused to go back in there alone. So I'm pretty convinced that there is something.
That's what I was gonna say. On that, do you believe in all that?
Yes, yeah,
Shit.
I trust my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite like he's like Brendan pretty much. He's very-
He's a
Little
skeptic.
retard.
He's a
Nah, I'm
skeptic.
joking.
Yeah, but now he's pretty convinced.
See, that's what I find fascinating about most stories, like ghost stories. As much as they can creep me out, because it puts in your head that seed of doubt if you don't believe in it. But then, what I find fascinating about it is there's just the human mind will believe whatever it wants to believe if it thinks it's right. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're told
Yeah.
something that makes sense to you and there's no reasoning to prove it wrong, you'll want to believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because it's a thing that can't be proved right or wrong, then it's
You just
like,
have constant doubt.
you want to believe one way, but there's that little seed of doubt in your head that makes you think, well, what if it actually is true?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, of
It-
course.
It's
It's-
definitely something else, and
It's yeah. No, go ahead. Sorry.
it's just I like how it
I
the
like big
ment-
butt, you cannot lie.
Jared's the type of person to take this serious conversation and make it so fucking goofy.
No, I just
I had to.
I like the concept that people like don't get, but it's honestly true. People are sheep. Like the newest iPhone comes out, everyone wants it. The newest clothes
Yeah,
comes
true.
out, and they see influencers want it, and then they want it. So
Yeah.
it's just the way I perceive things about
Supreme
oh,
exists.
Oh,
Everyone wants it.
Mm.
the way I
Okay.
perceive things about the supernatural and spirits is it's just like one person believed it and then they thought that they were credible and then everyone had the idea and it put that idea in everyone's head, and now because that seed of doubt is there due to Hollywood movies, stories, books, it's people are constantly thinking and overthinking, and the way I see it is it's their head that they're thinking that it could exist or couldn't exist. It's their head portraying what they want to see
Yeah.
or want
That's
to
right.
hear.
Yeah, no.
Or just what they're thinking about, anything that's on their
Yeah.
mind. You
So-
know, people
yeah.
create these crazy things in their head. It's just like a nightmare, but yeah. Oh, actually, I'd hate to cut off what Brendan's saying, but people tend to think that sleep paralysis, sleep paralysis kind of stuff is actually like, you know how when you dream and all that kind of stuff,
like lucid
you got all these
dreams.
chemicals in your brain and all that.
Yeah.
It's like when you wake up in the morning or that kind of stuff, you still feel kind of woozy.
Yeah.
Mm.
A lot of people actually think that it's kind of that. It's like you still have the chemicals and all that kind of shit in your brain, and you're like dreaming, but it's coming into like the real world. It's your brain kind of mixing the two together.
Then
The
you
correct
kind
term
of-
for that, Zach, is like lucid dreams.
Yeah, that. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, has anyone
that-
had a lucid dream here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
I
They're
have.
actually
I have.
quite something else.
Well,
They're
I was-
scary.
They're
You know.
depending
It
on
depends.
the mindset that the person may have. Like
Yeah,
everyone's obviously
yeah.
different, and sometimes lucid dreams bring back fears that you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
As well as
Yeah.
sometimes for people, lucid dreams. I've spoken to other people who've had lucid dreams before, and they said it's like one of the best experiences they've had dreaming because you can control, like if you know,
Yeah, but-
if your mind knows what it's doing, you can control it.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, and you
But-
can like fuck Margot Robbie.
Um,
Yeah, that's the thing.
Zach, let's
Most of
focus on you losing your virginity before you think about that.
Oh, but it's
Ooh.
Margot Robbie, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
you-
the
not
thing.
to
Most
your
of my
girl-
lucid,
girl- girlfriend.
most of my lucid dreaming is like bad thing, and like
Yeah.
I don't even notice it because I can control most of my dreams, but they're usually like quite.
lucid
like-
dreams are they're different and they're hard to
Yeah.
pinpoint.
Yeah. Like this dream I had like a couple of nights ago. I don't know why I didn't forget it, but it's that classic dream where you go to school without pants on.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know what to do.
No, that probably wasn't a dream. You probably actually did go to
I
school
thought
without
it was
pants on.
real when I woke up. I really
That's the
did. I
thing,
was like,
though. That's
shit,
what
did this
scares,
happen?
That's what scares people the most about lucid dreams. Is
Yeah.
it tricks the brain into thinking that's your reality for the time being.
I went for a couple of days thinking like a lucid dream was real once. Like I
You
literally
know-
thought this didn't.
Funny story. I did go to school without pants on once
What?
in primary school.
Wow.
How?
Well,
Like,
I just forgot I didn't put any on. So I went to school. I got out of the car, walked a couple steps. I'm like, "Where's my pants?"
how didn't your mum or dad realize?
Because they hate me.
Wow.
I mean, I've gone to school in bed slippers before. Yeah, high school.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I
slippers.
did. I went in runners instead of school shoes. That's it. That's like the worst that's happened. Or I spent like an entire day with my fly down and then I wanted to jump off a bridge, but it's all good.
I mean, I had these really like grandpa slippers from Big W, and they were warming my feet. So you know that feeling? You put your socks on, you put your shoes on, your feet are warm,
Mm.
and you just
Yeah,
don't
you just
notice
kind of
it.
forget.
I was walking
Yeah.
around with just my slippers on. I was in full school uniform, ready to go. Went out the door, locked the door. I don't usually take a key with me because my parents would be home by the time I got home. Locked the door, closed it. Went, oh fuck, my ankles are real cold. look down, and I'm like, oh fuck. And you
I've
know,
never done that. I've
my
always
f-
been organized.
the first class I had was outdoor rec sport, and we were playing handball,
Oh.
Hell yeah.
and I was in slippers.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Everyone kept coming up
Yikes.
to me, and at the end of the day, I was just made a meme out of it. It's like, where'd you get those? And I just go, oh, Foot Locker, they're 150 on sale.
That's all you can say, really, to just solve the problem. Just go along with it.
I mean, I had Mum drop off my shoes halfway through the day. She wasn't happy at that, but
Oh, I once forgot my whole school bag.
I mean, that's
Oh,
pretty
really?
common with most people. I
Yeah.
feel like most people have forgotten a bag once. At
Yeah,
least.
I
I just
haven't.
thought I had a recollection thinking I put it in
Dude,
my car, but I didn't. So
I do that all the time, but with like telling people things. I always think about telling people things so much that I forget
Oh,
that I actually
Yeah,
haven't
that's
told them.
just 'cause you're schizophrenic.
yeah, same. Oh.
You reckon I have schizophrenia?
No, I just think you're retarded.
Oh, I shouldn't have smoked the other day.
That'll hide in that area of your mind, buddy.
Hell
I
yeah.
talk to myself all the time. Like,
Actually, you know what?
yeah.
When I used to live at home, and Mum used to say, "Oh, don't talk to yourself. It's weird. It's crazy." And I like. It sounds weird when I say this, but I've spoken to other people, like friends, and I say, "Oh, do you ever just when you're at home by yourself, just talk to yourself about some dumb shit?" And they're like,
do.
"Yeah, that's normal."
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
I used to do that, and my mom always used to tell me, like, stop talking to yourself.
It's when it's crazy ramblings and it's constant.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a problem. But I found with teenagers specifically, they do it because it's like, it's not in the crazy way, but they do it because it's like not someone's there to talk to all the time, like at school.
Mm.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
it's
a,
in-
it's.
Go on,
It's
Sam.
kind of a coping. It's
I
kind
was
of
gonna say it's like a stimuli, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
yeah, like
it's-
a coping mechanism.
oh,
I
maybe
just
not
see
that.
it as you're around people all day at school and you're used to talking all day, and then as soon as you get
Oh, yeah,
home
fair
and
enough.
it's like your body's
Too quiet.
your head is in that mindset like, oh well, I can talk all day.
Yeah, no,
and
that
then there's
does
no
make
one
sense.
directly there to talk to.
Yeah, what I always do is I fucking talk as if I'm commentating a YouTube video.
Oh no, I was gonna say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
same as me.
I do that all the time.
I used to do that with Minecraft when I was younger.
Yeah, I do that in CS:GO.
Guys, welcome to my Minecraft Let's Play.
There it is.
Oh my god, diamonds! Ah! Wait, Brendan.
What?
Shot.
Fine.
Alright,
You know what I
let's
don't understand though?
go. Down the
Like
hatch. What?
everyone in our generation will say, "Oh, you play Minecraft, you're so gay," but you look at it.
It's
Everyone
common
has
relevant, man.
Everyone has gone back to Minecraft at least once to relive
Mm.
it when it first came out.
Oh
Yeah,
well, I don't
exactly.
revisit. I actually play it still.
When I get
I
Well,
imagine
you
that.
are 14, mate, so you're still young.
it
Shut
sounds
up, I
it
hate
sounds
you.
kind of gay when I say it, but the mate I live with, we got bored one night and we thought, oh well, what's a game we can both play on the console? And we just thought, fuck it, let's re-download Minecraft, and we downloaded
Exactly.
it. And we
It's
plugged
such a
like
good multiplayer game.
it is when you play with your friends, but when you're by yourself, you just get so tedious. But when you're with friends,
Yeah.
you just fuck around. It's so enjoyable, and there's so many
It's so
hours you
good.
can have.
Mm. Hey, let's play Minecraft right now.
No.
I mean, we could.
Yeah, we could.
I don't even have it installed.
Oh,
Alright.
Wow,
I
you're a
don't have
disappointment.
Minecraft.
Alright, I'm having a
Mm.
shot. I haven't had it yet.
I have my. Oh, that was foul.
I hate this shit, bro.
I have mine on
Ah.
console.
what
Wait,
console?
what console? Yeah.
Xbox One.
Oh,
Oh, Sam,
damn.
we should play.
I have
Yeah, right.
PS4.
Well,
I don't have a console. I had PS3. Gran Turismo 5 was the shit.
PS3 because you're a little pussy boy virgin. Actually, you know what? At the end of the day, right, a console's a console. I don't give a fuck what brand it has.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have
me
a
neither.
bias for consoles because they're both shit.
See, personally, I always would think the Xbox 360 was the prime console.
Yes.
Yeah,
But,
I think everyone agrees with that though.
I
You
just
can't
don't-
dis-
yeah.
Yeah,
just
even
don't
I
have
agree.
I don't have a brand preference, though.
Yeah, same. Because I grew up with a PS1, and then I went
Same.
went from Wii, PS1 to a Wii, and then I went
Oh.
to
Yeah.
Xbox One, and
I went-
now
You know what was actually
Same.
really good on the Wii, and it was really underrated?
what?
I found it enjoyable. Sonic Unleashed,
Yes.
how he turned into the
I've
werewolf.
Never have.
Yes.
That was
That was
Yeah,
such a good game.
I played the original Sonic on my PS1. I've never didn't play it.
Hmm.
I used to have Mum had a console from when they had a little bit of money when she was living with Nan, and it was the Sega Mega Drive, and it had
Oh.
Sonic 2 and 3 on it. And
That's sick.
Oh yeah.
I remember
bro.
one afternoon I was on school holidays. I didn't have my phone because I didn't get it back in the morning. Didn't have my Xbox remote. So I pulled it out of the cupboard, and it took me like an hour to set up because it's a HDMI TV and you need an AV antenna.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had
Yeah,
to get it perfect and sit perfect that it wasn't going to
Yeah.
shake. And I just smashed out Street Fighter 2 Ultimate Edition, as well as Sonic 2 and 3 in one afternoon, and it was the best time I've had playing such an old game.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that they recreated Crash Bandicoot.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
I was real skeptical about it because I was like, importing it onto a console or onto the Switch will be like kind of hard because back then
Yeah, definitely.
the technology was a bit primitive and Stone Age. But
Yeah.
I traded in one of my Switch games because I bought Pokemon Tournament, the new one, and
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, maybe it'll be like the old, but it really wasn't. So I traded it back in, and I got Crash Bandicoot on Switch, and I had such a good time playing through it.
Yeah, same
It's-
as me.
It's such a blast from the past because I remember every Friday I used to go to one of my mum's friend's house and stay there till my nan would pick me up and then drive me home
Mhm.
because I was in one suburb going to school like 3 suburbs over,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
and
Hmm.
I would sit there in their little like game cornered off games room,
Mm.
and they had a PS2 and all these big stack of games, and I pulled it out, Crash Bandicoot 2, and I remember playing through it on the PS2, and
Yeah, shit.
it was such a good experience.
The nostalgia it brings back, I think, is
yeah,
the best, and like seeing it in good quality as well.
as well as just my big thing. Me and a mate I was playing with earlier today, we were sitting there and we were just playing CS:GO, and we just were talking that games these days, they're kind of just fresh coat of paint, rinse and repeat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's original anymore.
Most
Mhm.
people
Or
just,
innovative.
yeah, most people just want first-person shooters because they're the ones that sell well.
Exactly. It's more about money and business and all that.
Yeah. It's like CS:GO Danger Zone. It's just a fucking
Yeah.
byproduct of Fortnite and like
Mm.
PUBG and
And
Apex
they're
Legends and all that
updating
shit.
it, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a new operation for CS:GO anytime
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, which
It's
sucks.
a shame. It's a shame.
The game series that I really liked, it's fairly new. I know they released a new one not too long ago, but it's the Tomb Raider series.
Yeah.
They
I've never gone into it, but like it seems like a good game.
No, the thing I like about it is Square Enix is known for doing like flawless cutscenes. Like they've always had good
Yeah.
technology to do good cutscenes, and
Yeah, 100%.
for Tomb Raider, it feels like you're playing a constant cutscene because they didn't focus on making just the graphics for cutscenes good. They made it consistent throughout the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
100%.
you
She's
go
awesome.
to nowadays games like what's a new one that's come out? Days Gone or World War
Yeah,
Z.
yeah.
I like
I don't know.
the
They just seem
concept.
so similar.
I like the concept of Days Gone, but my problem is it's just a fresh coat of paint, a couple new mechanics, and well, there you go, a brand new game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
But I haven't seen Call of Duty tease a new game, so maybe they're gonna finally
Mm.
fucking stop.
But Call of Duty have been going in the downward
Downhill
spiral.
spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have noticed.
Same.
I had Black Ops 4 when it first came out, and I booted it up the other day, and it used to be blackout. 2 minutes tops, you'd wait and you'd have a full game. Nowadays, I sat in the lobby for 15 minutes, and I was like, I'm not getting any closer to a game.
It's a dead game now, which is a lot of things die quickly
Yeah, which
nowadays
is
as well.
funny because you go on like Modern Warfare 3 and 2,
Yeah.
and they have more players
Still
consistently on their
people, yeah.
servers.
And Black
than-
Ops 2.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Modern Warfare 2 has more current players than Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
More people online searching for games.
And Minecraft. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I'm
really
s-
shocked to hear that Minecraft had more concurrent players than Fortnite.
Crazy.
Yeah, it seems like it's dying a bit, to be honest.
As well as, I always found it interesting when Apex came out, Fortnite's mad scramble to get back players.
Yeah,
And you see all these articles like, oh, they're adding in respawns now.
Yeah, they added in so many things trying to
Yeah.
catch up with Apex.
They added in zip lines, respawns.
Mm.
But they just don't make games like they used to.
no,
No,
it's
so
all
bad.
it's the craze nowadays is just battle royale.
As well as fast-paced shooting. That's what people want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Talking
it's like
about
quick and sharp, not like long. It's like Last of Us when Last of Us kind of broke that, like the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
Last of Us
That was
game was
awesome.
so beautiful.
The Last of
It
Mm.
was
Us
such a
game,
good game.
I liked, but my problem with it was I found there was quite a lot of dead space. But at the same
Yeah, that's
time,
true.
it was kind of like relaxing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was
It
it
was
was just
very
something.
relaxing.
I think
Yeah.
it was part of the game, the dead
Yeah.
space.
So
I played through that game 3 times. Anyway, go ahead.
no, just so talking about new games that are coming out. Have you all seen gameplay release or the trailer for Borderlands 3?
No, I
No,
haven't. actually.
I
I don't
actually
follow
haven't.
Borderlands.
Oh,
No,
okay.
me neither.
So I've been a big advocate of the Borderlands games because one of the I bought Borderlands 2 with my birthday money one year and it took all my money. But I thought,
Mm.
Oh, yeah,
alright,
fair
well,
enough.
a couple mates at school have told me it's a good game. They really liked it. I'll give it a gaze, and I loved it. And then I finished it, finished all 3 difficulties, maxed out my character, and then went, alright, time to play Borderlands 1. I played that and had such a good time, and I've been waiting 7 years since the release of Borderlands 2 to have Borderlands 3 in my hands, and I got so hyped up at the gameplay trailer, and I watched gameplay reveal, and I thought I'm not too hyped for it as I used to be. It doesn't
Yeah,
It
because they
doesn't
took too long.
not no, not that. It doesn't stick to the play style of a Borderlands game. Like they've added
Oh,
in
yeah.
they've added in sliding, faster faster combat, more combat, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I found it's to suit people nowadays that
Yeah, trying
Just-
to keep up with the times.
they just want nowadays people just want the fast in your face there. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what they've tried and kept up with. Whereas Borderlands 2, it'd have one big firefight. You'd have this little downtime where you walked around all these little tunnels or paths, and then it'd have another
Yeah.
big firefight. Whereas this, it's just there's always something on your mini map that's red, and it just
Mm.
really didn't appeal to me.
That's
It's
fair.
just, like
Mm.
fast paced, like you said.
Yeah, it
like-
reminds me of Doom.
Yeah,
Doom was a good game.
Doom is a good game, except
I love
Yeah.
Doom.
it's just
It
real
is.
repetitive.
Yeah, it's repetitive, but it's still bloody good.
Mm.
Yeah, I liked it and I played it. I've got it on the Xbox One, and don't get me wrong, it was a really really good game, but to begin with, I couldn't turn motion blur off because it was still updating, and that
Mm.
gave me motion sickness because I was like, oh, all right, and then, but after I turned it off, I got maybe 3/4 through the campaign before I had to put it down. I went, this is just too mindless.
Mm.
Because I don't know
Yeah, that's
about
fair enough.
you three, but my type of preferred game would be story-driven games, such as
Yeah.
I really, really enjoy Witcher 3. That
Mhm.
was
Witcher 3, I've completed that about 3 times.
by far.
I
would
bought
be-
it and refunded it.
By far would be my favorite game of all time. It's a
That's
slow
fair.
it's a slow moving game at times, but it's so
Mm.
story driven and everything can affect the world around you, and I like games like that where there's
Mm.
not just mindless violence, everything has a reason.
Yeah, that's fair. That's really good.
Even for its time, I enjoyed Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I never
Yeah,
got
well,
into
Skyrim's
the-
an endless,
those
like an undying classic.
Yeah, it does have a lot of dead space, which I feel could be cut out with faster modes of getting around or not having objectives in the middle of fucking whoop whoop.
Yeah.
But it
Or
was
just fast travel.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I found
Oh,
that,
I kind of think fast travel ruins games.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where if they didn't put it in, people would 100% complain that there's not enough ways.
But
Mm.
then if you did put it in, a lot of kind of miss out on all of the scenery that the developers had
Like,
made for the game.
I get the point of going to your map and then finding a point you've discovered to fast travel to, but I feel like personally, if I was to make the game, and well, what do I fucking know? I don't develop games, but my perception of it would be make it like you've got to go to a certain type of NPC, like a carriage driver, and pay them to go to a certain location.
Mm.
And then that would be your fast travel.
Yeah, like you talk to them and say I'd like to travel, pulls up the map, and you choose where you want to go, and then it travels. But
I
what
think
the-
Oh,
go
you
on,
go.
Zach.
Oh, I was gonna say I think a better application of that would be only certain spots that you can travel to, so you still
Yeah,
manage to kind
They
of
did that in Witcher 3. It was only certain signposts you could go to fast travel,
Yeah,
yeah.
which
that
I
was good. I
found
like that.
it was good because not only did it make you like travel around on horse or by running, it made you look around, and games like that, it gives you certain events that just happen in the world randomly,
Yeah,
and it always
Exactly.
it always keep your head active.
Yeah, and you miss out on a lot if you just fast travel everywhere because there's a lot of
Yeah.
events and
it's a good
amazing
way to grind
spots
XP.
created.
If you don't fast travel, it's a good way to grind XP as well.
Yeah. Is there any?
Yeah, a lot of games these days, you don't need to grind as much as you did.
No,
Oh
Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
You can just
100%.
load
I
up
miss
and you get
grinding.
shit. Yeah,
Grinding was good because it gave you a sense of purpose. It was like,
Yeah.
holy
Mm.
shit, I'm working towards this high level thing. I better fucking get working on it. But
That's it.
nowadays it's kind of, oh, just go here and do this, and then you're kind of done.
Yeah.
Like,
Instant
Yeah.
gratification.
prime
Yeah, it is
example, when Anthem came out,
Mhm.
yeah,
a
that was
lot
a
of
big-
a lot of reviews were like, oh, it's kind of the objectives are just go here, collect this, go there, do that,
Mm.
and then one quick boss fight, and then you're done.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't know about you guys, but I play Forza Horizon. Oh, 4 now? It's 4 now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah, but that game is just like you load in and you can play the game for 30 minutes and you already got like a car. Instead of like Horizon like 1 and 2 where you need to build up from like a Ford Focus
Yeah.
to like something that
Yeah.
you're like I achieved this, I worked hard for this.
A game like
But
that,
yeah.
which I installed, Need for Speed, just the
Yeah,
original
same as
one.
Need for Speed.
It
Yeah.
takes a lot of. You can't just do the story and then have all the best upgrades. You gotta like do a lot of races in your own
Yeah.
time as well, which I
That's
really enjoy a grinding element to a game.
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of people like Need for Speed as well, that grinding element to it.
Mm.
Yeah, except just today's demographic, there because it's a lot of kids growing up and. They're like, oh, how do we grab their attention and keep their attention? Oh, we just rinse and
exactly.
repeat what used to work in the past.
Yeah, that's it.
I 100% would prefer better graphics and a good story over mindless combat for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Like, I personally can't stand hack and slash games where you just button mash for 20 minutes straight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sam.
Mm.
Like,
I mean,
go on, Zach.
oh, I was just gonna say, I think what a game that you play is kind of a decent balance of that, which is Trove.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
As
the
gay as
grinding
it
element of that
sounds,
game.
I had a mate of mine who used to go to school with. He never used to be online, and me and him used to play CS before I met with Zach and shit. And we were sitting there the other day, and he was like, "Download Trove." I was like, "Oh, it looks gay as fuck," and it does, but
It's a
it
pretty
is,
interesting game.
it's a good game.
it is
Yeah.
a mindless grind sometimes.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
There is a lot of things you can work towards, and it's so satisfying when you have it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, there's so many things that they have made like that hard to get that you really have to dedicate yourself to the game.
Like
Yeah.
mythic stuff, rainbow stuff and like
Oh
shadow stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Or
Speaking-
what's
Speaking of difficulty in games, sorry to cut you off, Zach.
all good, all
but
good.
What's your opinions on? Would you prefer like moderate games or games that actually challenge you? Because I've
I
recently
reckon
just
challenge.
I've recently
Challenge
just
me.
finished Dark Souls 2,
Oh yeah.
Mm.
and I personally prefer quite a bit of a challenge when loading
Yeah.
up a game. I want to be like this. Because with the Dark Souls series, you die repeatedly, like hundreds of times to a boss you won't know, and then at the end of it, it's that satisfaction and like, holy shit, I just did this.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
And that's like with CS:GO, because you need to learn a lot of brain patterns and shit, and it makes it challenging.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Callouts.
I definitely prefer challenging games and moderate.
Mm.
Like I've recently got Rainbow Six Siege on the console, which I've plugged
Oh, yeah.
That's such a
quite
good game.
I've plugged quite a lot of good hours into it, and anyone who
Yeah.
has played it will know that it's a really steep learning curve.
Of course,
Yeah,
definitely.
Mm.
And when
It
you
is.
start to play somewhat consistently and you start getting multiple, not just one or two kills, but you get maybe 3 or 4, it's just so satisfying knowing that they're real players and you've finally
Yeah.
gotten to the level where you can play and hold yourself against other real players.
Especially in the way that, like, in Rainbow Six Siege, in comparison to, say, like, people die so much quicker.
Yeah.
Like, it only takes a couple bullets, and guns are there's not as much spread in Rainbow Six Siege.
yeah.
like,
in
and
Yeah,
it
definitely.
It really makes you think. Like, it's not just
Yeah.
run around the corner, spray, hope you hit something.
Yeah, especially because there's the sneaky element to the game. You know, everyone will hear you coming if you just burst in the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Me playing Rainbow Six, I've had a lot of moments where I've gone, well, fuck, is that actually, is that my teammate or is that someone behind me? And you whip around
Yeah,
in
or
a
is that a
panic.
dead body?
It's tense, you know, and it makes the
Yeah.
game fun
It
'cause you
keeps
don't know
you
what's
on your
gonna happen
feet.
next. It
Definitely.
definitely.
Mm.
Did any of you play the Sekiro game?
The
Oh,
what?
Oh,
Sorry.
I've watched a lot of videos on it, but no, I haven't bought
Yeah,
it.
see, I'm quite on the fence. I like a lot of things From Software does, and for context, From Software is the company that makes games such as Dark Souls series, Neo. I think it was Surge they did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I haven't
ma-
played.
I haven't played the Surge, but I finished the Dark Souls series.
No, I finished Dark Souls a couple of times.
They make really good and challenging games, but
Yeah, definitely.
with Sekiro, I feel like they're bending to today's generation where people won't want to buy challenging games. They want games that will somewhat be easy to play through.
Definitely.
Mm.
I feel like the challenging element of games is becoming less appealing to the younger generation of gamers. That is becoming a lot more. I don't know what the word is. Like, there is a lot more, children that are playing games.
Young
I mean,
children that just don't get how to play.
Yeah.
As
and
well
they
as-
don't.
Sorry, Zach, you go on.
I was just gonna say, so many kids have been raised on, iPads and all that, and all the games that they're used to playing on their, their little apps or whatever the fuck they play, that Instagram has given them ads for, have been, instant gratification. It's just, you do something, you get something, or you just wait a long time, and you don't actually have to put in much effort.
Yeah, see,
And
that's
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, by the end of that, kids jump on like proper PC gaming or console gaming, and they expect all these games to be super easy and like
Mm.
there's no grinding involved.
Yeah, then get mad when they keep losing and don't get what they want.
Yeah.
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 So and that's a lot of a player base of games nowadays.
Mm.
See, as well as my biggest thing with, I don't have a problem with children playing video games. Like, as a kid, I think I picked up my first video game when I was about 6 or 7, and it was SpongeBob Lights Camera Action. I don't know if anyone knows it.
I feel like
I
that
remember
It
that.
sounds
fully.
familiar.
Yeah, it
I
was
think
like
I had
it was
it on
like a
DS.
Mario Party style game, but with SpongeBob before. Like, but it wasn't a complete rip-off board of Mario Party. It was like, so it was kind of like you did a little cup, and if you won the cup, you kind of just got to progress to the next stage of the story.
Okay.
And
I'm pretty sure I played that on my DS.
I
Same.
had that, and it was a great game, and I don't have a problem with kids being introduced to games real young. It's my problem is parents. I'm not saying this is for all parents, but I have seen before parents use it as just a mindless like, oh, you're got a problem here, just take this, and it shuts them up for a bit.
Yeah, as a distraction.
And I really hate that because, especially people, like parents in particular, just going, here you go, here's an iPad, and just lets them sit there on YouTube and the internet because we all know how much fucked up shit there is on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not doing a content filter on that, and you're just exposing them straight away to the cesspool and degeneracy that is the internet.
Pretty much, you just can't allow your kids to be parented by the internet because
Yeah, as
they're
well
not going to
as
turn out well.
nowadays it's, Mum, I want this game. oh, okay, how much is it? Oh, it's only $25, but then at the same time, it's an MA or an R18 game. And
Yeah.
as fucking naggy as it sounds, there kind of is a rating for a reason, and you don't realize it as a kid, but
Yeah.
when you start to grow older, you find out, well, holy shit, there actually is a rating for a reason.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been noticing a lot that there's a lot of kids younger with such bad attitudes, and I
Yeah.
didn't really notice that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And now that I'm starting to grow up, I'm really starting to resent the younger generation, even though I'm still pretty much a kid.
Yeah,
Um,
see,
Definitely.
my thing is, I don't know about other people's, but so I go to a public school that's just normal for
Nice,
people. Not, I'm not a rich person who got a private. I have just government education. Zach, little dick energy.
Fuck up.
But at public school, I personally believe that bringing the year sevens over to high school is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because you get their older siblings who get into something, say at a public school they get into smoking weed, which
Yeah.
then they're doing it, and then their little siblings find out because they're talking about it or doing it around school, and then their little siblings go, oh, that's the cool thing to do. My older sibling
Yeah.
seems cool. Now it's time for me to get into it. And that I feel like that's the same with most games as well. Like
Mm.
me
Yeah.
watching a stepdad or so play something like Halo when I was 6. I went, oh, that looks fun. That looks fun as.
Yeah, definitely.
Or watching them play. There was, I think I watched only for a little bit before he got annoyed. I watched stepdad play Scarface for a bit, and you look at it and you're like, oh, that looks so fun. But then at the same time, it's like, is it genuinely fun, or do you just want it to seem cool? Or
Yeah, or to have someone to relate to.
yeah, and that's what I think that a lot of the younger generation wants to do today.
Well, I feel
Mm.
like that's always been something quite prominent,
Yeah,
but now parents are kind of evolving to the generation of technology more open,
yeah,
and
so
they're still kind of in the stage of being uneducated where they don't understand the effects it can have on their kids by doing so.
I don't think it's more or less uneducated. I think it's more like back then their internet was dial up, just watch a harmless video. There wasn't
Yeah.
the cesspool of memes today that make jokes about school shootings, bombings, shit like that.
Holocaust.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't know how the internet's grown and changed because obviously they'd see the changes like YouTube's updated, there's now Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that. But I don't think they see like all of it because let's be real, you're not going to be fully aware of everything and anything that happens on the internet, and they just don't know because in their generation the internet wasn't such a big thing. And nowadays you
Mm.
have all these people on social medias being influencers and making kids want to feel a certain way or buy certain things. And I don't, what do I know? I'm not a parent, but I just feel like parents nowadays to the younger
Parents need to take more
generations,
control.
yeah, I just feel like parents nowadays to the younger generations feel that they're safe on the internet because they don't fully know the extent of it.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
suppose.
Like you can just Google image something harmless, and who knows, there could be someone with a fucked up imagination, and your kid could end up looking at porn at such a
Mm.
young age. You don't know.
I was 9.
Like you just don't know the way the internet can go.
Definitely.
And that's my biggest pet peeve with younger generations, that they're so desperate to see, like, I get we were all like that eventually and you all grow out of it, but for that younger generation, the ones below us, I just see that as, I don't think they're going to grow out of that. I think that they will probably stay that way just because it's their whole high school, they've been looking up to their older siblings thinking, wow, they've got friends, they've got, like, they're getting relationships, they're getting people, like, oh, this is what I have to do to seem cool, and
Yeah.
then that sticks in their head.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's like what other people set, you know?
Yeah, it's not their own personal ambitions or goals, it's the society, or like today's society, making them feel a certain way.
Mm.
And
Yeah, well, it's just everyone is doing the same things because everyone else is doing them.
Mm.
No one specific. Yeah, you know, it doesn't take much to start a trend, I suppose.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah. Take the dab for example.
That was a bad time.
That was humanity's
definitely a
dark
bad
time.
time.
That was a very, very, very dark time.
I
Mm.
still dab to this day because of
Same.
my
The
autistic
only-
tendencies.
The only thing about having a fucked up shoulder is not being able to hit a sweet dab.
Hell yeah.
But enough of us talking about society and how the place is going to shits. Let's think of one thing we like. And
About
let's-
today's
About-
society.
just about
Today.
anything. Just about anything.
Anything.
Just to end things on a good note because we're coming up to the 55-minute mark.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
I'd just like to end things off with a nice note
Mm.
after us talking about social conflicting issues.
Yeah, well,
Huh.
yeah, what's been good in anyone's lives? You know?
Mm. Not
I-
much.
Oh, I mean, we can go down the list. It doesn't have to be anything over the past week. It could just be something you like in general. Like, oh, fuck, I like party pies with barbecue sauce or some shit.
Oh yeah, right.
I
I like Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, that's one of them.
That's such a good show. That's so good, bro.
What about you, Thirsty?
Hmm. I have no idea. Oh wait, no. I love
Oh,
iced
Rich Girls.
coffee.
No.
That's
That's Zach.
That's
Yeah.
Zach.
Oh.
What about you, Jared? Anything that you would like
Well,
to share
I've
that you
got a
like?
question. I've got a question for you
Yep.
guys.
All right.
Sure.
What are your guys' favorite cars? Just came to my mind.
Oh, I have minutes for that.
Ooh.
If you
Ferrari
were,
F40.
if you had all the money in the world and you could only buy one car,
Yeah.
which car would that be?
A 2017 Corvette Stingray.
Ooh.
Oh, fair
I like
enough.
the old Corvettes
Bit of-
better.
See,
Same. But let's
yeah,
not
but I
delve
still
into
like
that.
the Stingray.
I'm just gonna keep it simple. With I've always liked them. After
Mhm.
playing Need for
Supra?
Speed Pro Street, it's
Mhm.
no, it's not a Supra and it's not
Skyline.
a Impreza or a Skyline. It's actually 2007 Mitsubishi Evo.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. What is that? The Evo 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone likes the Evo 9.
Yeah, it's like yeah, okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's just fucking delish.
What about you, Zach and Jared?
Oh, I
You-
said mine already. Ferrari F40.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough. I'll have to go with the Chevrolet Corvette Z06. It
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. Yeah.
yeah,
I like that.
because the 2005 version or whatever 4, I don't know. Because
Actually,
I used to have a model car of it when I was young and favorite car.
Yeah.
So
actually,
I have
a
a F40 sitting in front of me. What's
what?
yours?
Change mine to a Dodge Hellcat.
Ah.
Mm.
I know, I
No,
like
not the older ones, or not the recent ones, like the 2016-17 models.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't really like the
Look,
new design.
They're quick, and they have cool intakes in the headlights, and they make a
And
lot
that-
of horsepower.
Yeah.
that
But they're only
supercharged
useful in a straight line.
and that supercharged whining on that demon.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's fucking.
But you
oh
can
my
get
God.
that out of a 1.8 liter supercharged engine. Like,
All right,
True.
let's
You
not
don't
get
need a
into
demon.
car talk because I don't reckon everyone's
I will
gonna
go on a
follow
rant.
us. So,
that's fair.
final
Yeah,
thing.
Mhm.
I personally like, it's more of a self thing. I like that I
Mhm.
finally got my life on track.
Uh-huh.
No, just
Bruh.
because I decided to drop out of school and start going to TAFE, as well as I decided in my meantime, I have 2 months before I go to TAFE. I decided why not do another course that would only take 6 weeks, give me more qualifications. I decided I wanted to record more footage, work on YouTube a bit more. My goal by the end of the year was to reach between 500 and 1,000 subscribers. And now that I've set my
Okay.
mind to
No,
it,
I didn't
Yeah.
even know you did YouTube.
Yeah,
now
me
that-
neither.
now that I set my mind to it, I
That's a
really
good
want to
start.
finish it.
Did you trying to talk?
Yep, and his things cut out.
Yeah,
His
he's
phone's
got
not
a-
on his computer.
What do you
Mhm.
mean?
I guess
The real question is, can he hear us?
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck
that's
off!
a-
I can hear you.
Brendan has a small cock.
Fuck
Brendan,
up, Zach.
we can't hear you. I'm gonna write that.
Can you not hear me?
Oh, there
oh.
we go. Hi.
He's back.
Oh,
Hello.
Oh well, sorry. I said that I finally decided that I was gonna. Now that I put my mind to getting to 1,000 subscribers, that's gonna be my
Mhm.
goal. And it's not gonna. I don't want to. I don't compare myself to other YouTubers because I know they've worked a lot longer and a lot harder to get to where they are.
Fair.
So
Mhm.
I know
Mm.
that I'm gonna have to start off small somewhere, and I like that I've come to terms with most of my life, and I'm finally getting everything sorted out.
Well, yeah, good for you, mate.
Yeah, it's good.
Good for you.
Anything
Mm.
else anyone would like to mention before we end?
No.
No, I think that's a pretty positive note to end on.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Definitely.
Well-
I'm happy for you, my dude.
Well, thank you all for listening to us social rejects talk about life, talk about problems. It was good. It was the first one. Yeah, Zach?
It's
I was
interesting
gonna
to
say,
say.
how about we just give out all our socials?
No.
Voyage.
That'll be linked in the description.
Oh, really? Okay, that's fair enough.
Zach
well,
just wants the plug.
nah,
Yeah.
I'll
Oh no, it's just it reminded me of it as soon as you started ending it. I'm like, oh, yeah.
I'll make a Twitter for it and I'll link that
No
as well.
worries.
Nice.
Too easy.
So thank you all for listening to the first installment of Social Rejects. I don't know when we plan to upload another one or make a consistent schedule for it. We'll figure that out over the course of the next fortnight or so, I reckon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we'll do our best to keep on top of that, I reckon.
Mhm.
Definitely.
But we plan on keeping this going for however long we can.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Poke our dicks into the fire and keep it going for a bit longer.
Yeah, probably. Keep the fire burning.
Keep
Well,
the fire burning.
That's it.
Anyway, thank you all for listening. It's an hour and probably 5 minutes by the time I wrap this up. Thank you all. Any and all support is welcome and thanked. I hope you all have an enjoyable night, day, week, whenever you're listening to this. You all want to say
And-
goodbye?
And make sure to leave
I'll
a
see
like
you
and
guys.
subscribe.
That is beautiful, people. Love you.
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.